Riffical Records presents the Projekt Gemineye Update with your host, Mark Anthony Kay. Greetings, friends, and welcome to Projekt Gemineye Update number 86. And today, as you can see by the title, we are doing another one of the Mark Anthony Kay archive series releases. My apologies for taking so long in between. Usually I like to do these at the beginning of the month, but as you all well know, or people who follow me on a regular basis, there's quite a lot going on the last couple of weeks, and more on the good news side, work on Projekt Gemineye 4, the new record entitled In the Year 3073 Book 1, is well underway. Drums are all done. All the electric clean guitars and acoustic guitars are all finished. We are on to the electric guitar, rhythm guitar parts proper. So very excited about that. But now we are going to be talking about the new, well, not the new, but the next part of the archive series releases. And that brings us to a very interesting release. The one that has a connection with my past, obviously, and a connection with my present, actually. The album in question is this one here, called Reckon With One, from the band Reckon With One, and it's called Before the Storm. Now this is a 4-song EP, as you can see here, and I will take it out of the shrink wrap just so you can get a better look at it here. I already sort of pre-cut it so I wouldn't be jostling around here like a fool trying to get the wrap opened up. So there we go. I'll clean that up after. Let's see if this will present better. Okay, some fantastic artwork done. I believe the gentleman's name was Rodrigo or Eduardo. I don't remember. I'm really sorry. But it is listed inside who did the artwork. Let me just get this properly in here for you to see. As you can see, there's a very long-haired me. Well, I still have my hair. I just always have it in a ponytail, though, for some reason. And, yes, as you can see here, a totally different lineup of the band. Now, what ended up happening is the original band split up in 2004. Many things happened that led to it. I think I mentioned in one of the previous CD update, well, it's in a previous archive series update. But I had started working on material on my own. This was around 2009, I believe, after I left Piledriver. And originally at that point, I came up with the concept of doing the Projekt Gemineye stuff then. As I started working on it, I actually went into a studio called Chalet Studios that's located here in Ontario, and it's a studio that's known to have done a lot of pre-production stuff with Rush. They did, I believe, Test for Echo, the demoing there, the counterparts, I think, as well, was done there, I think. But a lot of records were demoed there. I think maybe even Presto or something like that were demoed there, and then they did the full records in other studios around the world. So I went to Chalet with the hopes of capturing some of that inspiration, being in the same studio that those guys were in, because they're a huge influence on me, obviously. I started working on it on my own, and then I had my drummer from Reckon with One, Jerry, come in and help me with some of the drum parts on there. What had happened was I wanted something a little bit more, you know, more along the lines of a real authentic drummer, so I got him in there because I did most of it. I programmed a lot of it, but I got him in there to kind of refine the stuff for me, and it turned out great. It sounds fantastic. As I continued doing it, I started playing around with the idea of actually getting back on the scene and playing live again. So I ended up getting members to join the band then. So I had a gentleman called Andrew Zenti join. He was first to join up, and he was on drums. Fantastic drummer. And then before Andrew came in, I contacted an old high school buddy named Michael Burley, and he's a great singer. And I asked him if he wanted to sing on it, because originally I didn't want to sing on this stuff. I wanted somebody else to sing, so I got Mike to agree to do it. So we were working on stuff together. He lived in British Columbia, so I would go back and forth between Ontario and BC and work with stuff that way. And then we got Andrew in, and then we got a guy named Marco in to play bass, who I knew here in Ontario. So me, Andrew, and Marco would work on the stuff musically at Andrew's place. We would jam it out and stuff, and it was starting going pretty good. There's those guys again that I mentioned. Marco there in the top, the bald gentleman. Andrew behind his drum kit there. And then you have Michael here. I'm kind of covering his face a bit. And then me. Here is the inside, in case you're wondering. There's the lyrics for some of the songs and the thank yous and so on and so forth. Interesting thing about this album is I was the producer, obviously, of this, and I oversaw everything, and it got mixed at Chalet. This is everything of this record was done over there. I didn't do any of this here. So this is totally done at a outside recording studio, and it turned out really good. I'm just trying to look through here to see if I'm missing anything. Producer Mark Anthony K. Recorded at Chalet Studios in Claremont, Ontario. It does say that I did some of my overdubbing here at my studio. It was engineered by Theo Postumus, who is a fantastic engineer. Here. Vocals for Suffocate and The Collector were recorded at Aurora Recording Studios in Vancouver, British Columbia. So the vocals were recorded in Vancouver, and they were brought back over here and mixed. And the mix was done by me and Theo at Chalet. And then the big thing about this record, that was another big dream for me, which I got done, which I was very pleased about, was that I had it mastered at the Lacquer Channel by George Graves. Now, that name might sound very familiar to people who are in the vinyl collecting circles and stuff like that, because George Graves is one of the big names in mastering as far as Canadian stuff goes. He did the Canadian master and lacquer press for Rush's Farewell to Kings. He's done tons of Triumph records. He's done lots of big records. I think I might actually have some photos that I might put up here or here of stuff that he's done. So I really wanted George to put his hands on this, and he did, and it turned out fantastic. This is a really fantastic sounding EP. But of course, just like most of my stuff, they're not short songs, they're a bit longer. Suffocate and The Collector and Transmission Channel were all written by me. The last song, Ancient Judgments, was mainly written by Michael, the vocalist. I added in my 2 cents on a couple of things and, added in a little bit of arrangement ideas and stuff like that, but that was more his end of it. But this is what spawned Projekt Gemineye, because what ended up happening is shortly after this was done, it came out in, I believe it was 2011? Am I right? Yes, 2011. In fact, it came out on Canada Day in 2011. And what's great about that, excuse me, what's great about that is it was great to be able to connect a big Canadian holiday with the release of this. It was a long time since I had released something at that point, so I was really excited about it, and it did pretty good, actually. After that happened, we started having thoughts about getting out and starting to play live. Now, already at this point, I was starting to have some, let's just call them butting of heads between members. Namely, one of them decided that he was going to take a job in Europe, so that got him out of the picture as far as being available to do things. And one guy was living in British Columbia, so that wasn't easy. So everything would have had to revolve around a very, very well thought out plan to do any kind of shows or touring. So it became a really big headache after a while. And, I was thinking of a way to how to kind of either solve it or just disband it. And as it is, nature took its course and did it themselves, because that was when I broke my leg. Right around that time, I had broke my femur bone and was in hospital for 3 months. So I pretty much told everybody that the band was no longer. I was in hospital. I couldn't do anything anyways, even if I wanted to. So the band was effectively split up. After I got out, you all know the story. Projekt Gemineye started. I did Ordinary Day, which, which storied my whole breaking of the leg and so on and so forth. So this album was what creatively got my juices going again, got me back into recording again, and I'm very proud of it. It's a fantastic record. Everything about it is great. Drumming is great. Bass playing is fantastic. The singing is really good. Everything about it is good. It's produced really good. It sounds really good. It was mastered. George Graves. Come on, it sounds amazing. So I highly recommend getting this, because more than the other ones, this has all the parts. Everything came together. It sounds great. I think you're going to like it. So this is going to be available just like the other ones. Same thing as always. The same price for Canada, UK, Australia, shipping included, Canadian funds. So I'll place everything up here as far as the pricing goes. And I really hope you guys take a chance and check it out. It is, like I said, a part of my history. If you like my music, you'll like this, because also when I come to think of it, this is definitely along the lines of the Projekt Gemineye music. It is right at that cusp of where I start writing really more progressive songs, and that's evident right here. So I really think you'll like this. So go out and go and place your order with me, and you will get this sent to you ASAP. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope you guys are all doing well, and there will be more updates to come very soon, and maybe even be a couple of more archive videos coming up. Wait and see. So that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching, and I will talk to you all very soon. Bye for now.